Friends, welcome. This is actually pretty exciting. Got my Capitals hat on because we won. I say we because I was part of the team, the Stanley Cup. So pretty exciting here. So I'm going to go over about a month, about a couple weeks into my AdWords thing when I found out about the in-market advertisement that Google offers. So I want to share with you a little bit about my ad campaigns I've been doing. I think it's actually pretty interesting. And so when you go to your ad campaign on your AdWords, and what you'll see these various, I tell you what, let's just start from scratch. We're going to go to my campaigns. I've run a bunch of different campaigns. And so what happens is you'll scroll, it says all. You can label, if you want to kind of minimize some of the ones that aren't being used right now, you just hit this guy here and you hit this. Hold on just a second. This guy, I can't remember what it hit here. It'll be all enabled, the ones that are running right now, all but remove the ones that you deleted. It doesn't really delete it, which is kind of weird, and then all of them. So I'll just show you what I've done here so far. So basically, it's been trial and error for me, but it's been interesting, and I think I've learned a lot here. So what we've done all kinds of different ones here that we've run, and I'm not going to get into all these specifically. This is the one I had to run to get a free ad for YouTube. Free, it cost me $350. It's absolutely fantastic. The ad I don't even use anymore. The ad was fine, but it was a little bit. I don't know. I just didn't do what I was shooting for, but it give me an incentive to figure out AdWords, and I can't say I figured out 100% at this stage, but I'm certainly getting better than I was 2 weeks ago, which is better than I was a month ago. And it's because I had to spend the money on it. And so I think that's actually, YouTube's smart. They say, hey, let's get you in for free as long as you commit to spend a certain amount of money, and we'll give you a valuable service, that you would not otherwise have got, unless you would have signed up for this. And then once you get the specifics, you might, take this down and learn how to do AdWords yourself. And that's exactly what's happened. So good on YouTube, good on Google for that. I think that's actually a wonderful way, exchange of goods and services for value added. That's wonderful. But it did cost them $350, but I think it's money well worth spent for sure. Initially, what happened was I talked to some guy in Google, and he built me out an in-stream video ad, and is just showing the campaign or the advertisement video that I had made professionally. And that was okay, but it didn't do anything. It was just kind of like brand awareness, but that's not what I wanted. So I said, well, let me dive into this a little bit deeper. Now, as you can see, when I changed the tactics around, because I did change the videos and whatnot, I got 14,000 impressions, 7,800 interactions, which is an interaction rate of 55%, and that's 4 cents a cost. So it basically cost me 4 cents per view once I figure out what I wanted to do. And now, again, I didn't have a landing page or anything set up. I was just seeing what I could, what kind of traffic I could generate. And that led me to say, okay, let's try some other things. So here I'm running an Indiana taxes ad, and it's just it's a video placement ad. So like if you're on YouTube, and it's not an in-stream ad. So just real quick, what an in-stream ad is when you go to YouTube, Wix is always on there. So you go to video, I want to watch, the Capitals Stanley Cup Championship. And the first thing you see is, Wix, a Wix ad. It could be anything, but Wix for me is always on there all the time. Obviously, I'm their target list for some reason. And you'll be Pharaoh, that guy Pharaoh, or some English guy with his glass on, and it's running a 5-second ad, and you got to click skip ad, or you can watch the whole thing through. That's an in-stream ad. It's almost like an interruption. And then you click skip ad to get to the content that you watch. Google doesn't charge you for those ads until they've watched it for, I think it's 30 seconds, which is pretty cool, because for me, I'm clicking, I use WordPress. I don't use Wix, so I don't need to watch the Wix ad. And every time they show it to me, it doesn't cost them anything because I'm not watching it for more than 30 seconds. So for them, it's just free brand awareness without really doing anything other than, it's not costing me anything, I presume. And maybe they're paying per impression as opposed to paying per view. I know it's a little bit complicated, but clicks per view, if they're paying for that and I'm not viewing it for 30 seconds, it costs them nothing. And they get repeated impressions to me. At one point, maybe I will use Wix. It's actually a pretty wonderful tool. If they're paying for impression, I don't know how that works. I could, here, cost per impression. And obviously I haven't done that yet because I got nothing there. But anyway, So the tax. So wait, yeah, that's the in-stream ad on YouTube. You see, you're waiting on your content. You got to go through an ad before you can get your content. If you hit the skip ad thing, if they're doing cost per view, it doesn't cost them anything, and then you can go to your content. I have most of my ads run like that, but this right here, Indiana Taxes ad, is actually, it'll show up as an ad in the right hand side on YouTube. Let me actually open. Let's see. I'll show what I'm talking about. Because I actually think it's important. And again, these videos are they can help you, but they certainly help me as I kind of remember what I've done in the past, because a lot of the stuff you do and then you're like, oh, what did I do again? All right. So I'm going to show you YouTube here. And, obviously this is has my pixel in there. So it's going to take me up to, I don't know what that is. Wax, is one of my ads. Simpsons. All right. So anyway, so it takes me there. Let's tell you what. Let's just click on Stanley Cup Parade and see what happens here. And I'll show you what I'm talking about. I imagine it'll be an in-stream ad. All right. There we go. Are we clicking on there or what, man? All right. Well, it's thinking. All right. And you got my man Brian G. Johnson. He's good. So if you're into YouTube optimization, you definitely should look at Brian G. And so a placement ad is down here on this right hand side. Man, it's moving slowly. So a placement ad will be over here, and it'll say ad. Like you might see that guy. Hold on a second. Let me get myself out of the way here. Man, it is moving slowly today. All right, so let's. So these are my TubeBuddy analytics thing, and it says, this has got. All right, so this right here has got this channel, wherever it's coming from. It's WSA in DC. It's got 7.82 million views, 8.19 subscribers. This video, 6,000 videos, and this video right here has 11 likes. That's specific to this video. But anyway, that's not what I want to talk. TubeBuddy is pretty cool, actually. This video right here is 11 comments, 86 likes, 4,000 views for this video right here. Their social, they have 11 Facebook likes on this video, but their channel has 7.82 million views and 8,200 subscribers and 6,300 videos that WSA has posted on YouTube. So that's pretty good. They're pretty active for sure. So kudos on them. This is TubeBuddy, and there's a free version of TubeBuddy, and then there's I guess a paid one and a paid plus premium. And I had the paid one, which is like $80 a year or something like that. It's fantastic. So highly get it. All right, I know I'm getting off course here. So an in-stream ad would be up here, and this isn't an in-stream ad, but like Wix or whatever you see. Hey, see Coca-Cola, or whatever. It'll be an in-stream ad where you click for 5 seconds. A paid, or what's it called, a placement ad will be down here, and usually I'll see the guy who says how I made $1 million online, and I don't know if that's an ad. I guess that's an ad. That's weird. I don't like that one so much. But anyway, so the whole point about this is there are two different ones here: the in-stream ad and then the placement ads. And so I was trying both, and I'll tell you. So we're in. It's 61,000 times it showed up right here on the right-hand side. 61,000 times it showed up right there. All right. Let me go back. And of those 61,000 times, I've got 836 views. That means literally someone had to click on that to view it. So they don't really call it a click-through rate, but kind of is, 1.37%, which is pretty good. So someone basically said, oh, I want to see how Indiana taxes people. And it will say, the little thing up here, the little orange, it says ad, and yet people are still clicking on it, which is pretty good. So it's getting a lot of views, impressions, not a lot of clicks. But again, here you're 836 clicks. It cost me $47, so 6 cents a click, which that's pretty good. I mean, I'll pay that 100 times out of 100. Now, again, this is just running targets here. I'm not trying to do anything at this stage. I'm starting to get it now, right? I want to try to build up on getting paid subscribers, email lists, and things of that nature. But for right now, I was just trying to see what works to generate interest right here. So a paid ad. So just real quick, a paid ad will show up a hell of a lot more times. But when people actually click on it, it's clicked. I mean, that's a fact. Someone actually has to click on it to get it, which is, it takes affirmative result, affirmative action for someone to do. All right. So that's why the Indiana ad has so many more impressions and so many less viewers and such a low interaction rate. Now, this Kentucky tax ad, on the other hand, was an in-stream ad. And as you can see, huge amount of interactions, comparatively speaking. So a lot less impressions, a lot more interactions, and a huge interaction rate, and 2 cents, 2 cents a view, not a click. This is literally a click. This is a view. So this would be a CTR, click-through rate. This is a number of views, and CPV, cost per view. So for this one, you have to have 30 seconds watched at most, or you have to have at least 30 seconds for it to be considered a view where it costs you. Cost me 2 cents, 2 cents, average cost, 2 cents. So now what I do is we go to YouTube, and let's go to our analytics. And again, there's a method to my madness here. Don't worry about that. So let's go to analytics. I'm curious to see what the view duration is of the Kentucky ad versus the Indiana ad. And that's the whole point why I wanted to run this test. So what we're doing here is just saying at the end of the day, I got a hell of a lot less impressions on the Kentucky ad, but I got more by a factor of 50% interactions on my Kentucky ad. And even though I got more interactions because it costs a third less, I got 2 cents cost per view. For my Indiana ad, I got a hell of a lot more impressions, but less interactions at a more interaction cost, 6 cents, so that's 300% more. But I had a click-through ratio of 1.37. So two completely different engagements. They actually had to click on this in Indiana. Here it just shows up, and they allowed it to go for at least 30 seconds. So the question is, what has generated higher view time and view time retention? Because for YouTube, views are fine, but they just want to see view time. That's what they're shooting for, view time. All right, so let's see here. So we're going to go to our analytics page, and we're going to see what our view time is on both of those ads. Now, I do have it as an app on my you go to the App Store, you can download the YouTube Analytics app. I don't know, what is this app called? It's called the I'll tell you right now, YouTube Studio app. Actually, YouTube Studio app. And so you can see that, and it'll break it down for it, but I wanted to share it with you here. So let's go to a video watch time. And what I want to do is go to videos and playlists. We want to go to watch time. And how did I get those ads again? So what I'm going to do on my app is I just say, I want to go to my dashboard. I want to go to my videos. And this is I'm using the app as opposed to the analytics on my thing there. I want to make it most viewed videos. All right, so this should give us, so here's how Kentucky taxes retirees. Look at that, 8.56 is the view duration, 73% viewed. And that's Kentucky. Where's Indiana? Oh, Indiana, look at that. 2.1 average view ratio is only 2% or 12%. Then I would have thought it'd been other than that. So Kentucky, even though they don't have to click, has a much, look at that. I mean, they're watching in Kentucky 73% of the video, and the average view duration is 88, almost 9 minutes. And they don't have to click that. It just shows up. All they got to do is stay on there. In Indiana, though, they actually have to click it. And even when they click it, they're only staying on board for 2 minutes. Now, it might be something with that ad. I'm going to look at these videos to see. Maybe it's the video itself, I should say, that's is driving people away after 12%. But it's interesting. So, without diving in deep in terms of the two various videos, the Kentucky one is smoking. Now, a couple things going on here. Maybe it's content, because Indiana is horrible for retirees and taxes. Maybe people hear that and they just move on. Kentucky's great for retirees and taxes. I don't know. So we have a couple things going on. This is where you got to do your campaigns to see which one works best. But as we sit here today, the facts are Kentucky has drawn the way we ran these ads. Kentucky, the in-stream ad versus the display ad, and the in-stream ad is smoking it in every mechanism possible. number of interactions, cost per view, average view time is not even close, not even close. So that's going to tell me right there, I want to keep that in the back of my mind, because that would be that give you some feedback in terms of how you're going to spend your hard-earned campaign dollars. Much rather spend 2 cents per click than 6 cents per click, especially if someone's sitting on there for 9 minutes as opposed to 6 minutes. Just real quick, remember always, YouTube, their views are fine, but they're really looking at is your watch time. I mean, that's really what they want to see. And I thought I showed here. Watch time reports. Yeah, watch time. Okay. You sometimes has a number up here. It shows your average watch time. That's watch time minutes. I'm not sure where it's at. But anyway, my average watch time is like 7 minutes and 30 seconds. Most of my videos go on for over 10 minutes, as you can see by here, because I can yap. But anyway, obviously somebody's finding that pretty interesting because they're watching it for a good amount of time. All right. So that's that. So as you can see here, I got a couple things in limited by budget. So I just started running this. This is my free book offer. And what we do is we click on this guy here, and there's going to be 2 ads. And I literally just did this morning. They're both probably still under review. And what I've done here is I said, okay, I want to have 2 competing ads going against each other. And we're doing a couple different things. One is we have 2 different landing pages, essentially, under review. And they're both under review. So this is the free book campaign where they can click on my YouTube video. It's only 1 minute. And then there's a link below for them to click onto my landing page through MailChimp, which is right here. This is my MailChimp landing page. And all I'm trying to do is get emails. All right. So basically this is a landing page I set up 2 nights ago with a video. I believe in videos. I think videos are a way to get insight into who you're trying to, just for who you are. Absolutely. So, and we'll see. I mean, I might go bankrupt believing in videos, but we shall see. That's my free book campaign. And I'm focused on free because literally it's free. You just log in there, you give me your email name and state, and I'll email you the PDF version for free. 85 pages, full PDF for free. It doesn't cost a dime. Now, this one, on the other hand, is also free, but the ad, can I show you the ad? Yeah. Well, maybe I will. Hold on a sec. Maybe that'll show you the, let's see here. We'll show you the thumbnail. I want to show you no, it won't. Okay. So there's 2 different thumbnails here. One is $5 for the book. And again, it's the same thing. It's $5, but you can get a hard copy of the book for $5. You just got to click on the content it'll take you to my landing page at my website, and you just submit your content, your info in here. So basically a couple things going on. One is a YouTube video where I just want you to click on my MailChimp landing page, and the other is that's for free. You just give me your info for free, and I'll email you the book for free. The other one is if you want a hard copy of the book, it's a $5. Just send me a check or cash for $5. I'll mail it to you. So I'm just going to compete those to see how they work. Now I will tell you, this one right here, I was running. I had began to run. I forgot I had to run it. And I actually had some pretty good traction here too. 704 impressions, 385 views, 55% view rate, and a cost of 3 cents per view at $10.50. So, I mean, it cost me $10 to get 385 people viewing my ad. I mean, I'll take that. I didn't get anybody, at least I could tell. Amazon tracking is bad. I didn't get anybody to buy yet, but we shall see. I mean, that's only, 385 views. If I get a cost, click-through rate of, like I said, 1%, I'd be happy there. So we shall see. Anyway, and so I'm just, and I changed that around a little bit just to kind of compete against each other. This is what I'm more excited about because this is free. There's no book to ship. It just is a 1-minute video. Send me your contact information. I'll email you the book. And so we'll see. And they're still in review there. So that's what I'm trying to do. All right. So now at the end of the day, you can go and check all your videos, all your campaigns here and click on all campaigns. And this will give you, let me just bring myself out of the way here. This will give you everything you've got. All right, so everything. And what it does here is it gives you your totals. All right, and it says exact. Now, the drawback is it's hard to look at this. You're like, all right, it's not, it's tough. So you say, okay, That's interesting. I like that. Like here's my Georgia one that cost me $350. That's all good. But what I wanted to do is I wanted to go to audiences. Who is clicking on mostly of my videos? Where are they coming from? And since I discovered this in-stream marketing, it's just been fantastic. And what you see here is it'll give you all this. So basically, it breaks it down to affinity audience. It breaks it down. But the drawback is it only gives you it doesn't let you keep going down. So you have to download it. So you hit this guy to download right there. And I did that. And I downloaded. So just real quick, if you're using Chromebook and you download it, you want to do XLSX. XLSX. It's not CSV. That's for Excel, Microsoft Excel. I use Chrome Sheets, so XLSX, just FYI. And then it'll take you to this. Now this is fantastic. Look, I'm telling you, this is freaking awesome. All right, so basically, and I just said Georgia because that's where I live. All right, so what it does, it gives you type in market, affinity, custom affinity, and life event. So when you're going on to AdWords, you can click on affinity, and you say, I want to talk about people who are interested in women's media. And that's just what I chose for some reason. Or you can say life event, someone who's going through marriage, someone who's moving. I think there's not that many life events if I recall right. Then you can do the in-market audience. So affinity means, hey, they've liked country music, or they liked music, or they like folk and whatever. It doesn't matter. There's tons and tons of stuff. And that's what I was doing initially, was doing keywords with affinity audiences, and that was fine. But then when I discovered in-market audience, it just changed everything. So in-market audience are people who have actually used Google to search for stuff they want to buy. Let the Google algorithms run its course. They do it better than you. There's no other way around that. Their AI is better than you at figuring out who's doing what. And so since I started doing the in-market, things have just gone fantastically. So let's click on here, and we can see here's an in-market audience, retirement planning, in-market, and that's for my Indiana. So I just focus solely on people in Indiana. At 1,000, Indiana, again, we talked about 1,000 impressions, 21 interactions with a click-through rate of 2%, 1.97. You can't beat that. That's fantastic. Now, again, no one bought anything. I wasn't trying to get anyone to buy anything. The irony of it, though, is that even though the interactions were low and the average view time was low, this is the second highest point of my subscriber base on YouTube. It's weird. So I'm running this one because I've got more subscribers on this than I have in any other episode I've done, other than one I did on Social Security. So that's very interesting to me. So they're not watching very long, but the people who do watch long are subscribing. It seems to me. So it's a weird, interesting dynamic there. All right. So here's my financial services, my Kentucky tax one. All right. We talked about that. Look at that. These are all people in Kentucky, a certain age group I categorize, I'm targeting. 1742 impressions, 1346, 16 for the, sorry about that, folks. For the interactions, 75% interaction hit rate with a 2-cent cost per view. It's just insane. So let's go to an affinity audience, and if we can, let's see, we can make this. I forgot. I don't even know how to do it on Sheets anymore. I used to be real. I'm trying to get where you can, what's the word I'm looking for? Filter, but it's not. Whatever. All right. So anyway, just go to affinity. So here's women's media fans. This was my YouTube one that I show. And I don't want to show that because that's. I want to show something else. So let's show affinity audience. I want to show Georgia tax views, music. No, didn't get anyone looking at there. My YouTube video. All right, well, I guess I'll go on to this. So basically, my YouTube video, I was showing people, I was taking them to my YouTube page just to drive traffic, and this was the affinity audience. So I had 150 impressions, 94 views. Again, it had to be over 30 seconds, and that's a 62% hit rate. It's just fantastic. I was going to show you something with affinity audience. Let's see here, affinity audience, all Georgia tax views. Yeah, not getting much on affinity audience. So basically, the affinity audience is right. What's that? Not much. So affinity, family vacationers, nope. So the affinity audience was minimal in terms of what I mean. Now, I mean that's pretty good. Don't get me wrong, but I wanted to show you the difference between the affinity audience, and here's a custom affinity audience, and that is retiree ad audience. I can't remember exactly what I did here. I got 71 impressions, 61% interaction, 5 cents a click. Life event marriage. All right. So that got me 1 view and 1 interaction. So that's 100%, but that's not enough. So I can't remember what I did with my YouTube, what the video was. I forgot. But anyway, my affinity audience for my, whatever that video was, look at that. I mean, it drew 70% for country music fans. Affinity business professionals, 48%. We got here travel, 62%. I mean, I did great there for sure. Look at this guy. But now watch the difference. This is in market. I got 76% of the folks in Florida who are in market to buy insurance products watched my video for over 30 seconds. And if you look at the analytics, they watched it for 80% of the time. It's crazy. Family focused affinity audience. Yeah, no one there. Financial planning in market audience. No, not there. Do-yourselfers affinity. Here we go. Look at that. I mean, so it's crazy. Now, at the end of the day, there was one. Yeah, right here. What's this guy? Avid business news readers. I mean, that's only 42%. So, but you can see it's just. I mean, if you're a data guy like me, this is just wonderful. So, I mean, you can just go through your list and see where people are clicking on. And you say, man, I got this guy right here. 221 views or impressions, 129 views. I'm getting 58% on insurance. But then if you go up to your, here's financial services, affinity audience, free book. This is, I got 50% hit rate. It's freaking awesome. So I had to share that with you because it's just fantastic. The information Google provides you is just phenomenal. So now at the end of the day, I spent $445. All right, on all this, I got my average cost per view was what I say, 4 cents down here, 4 cents. So I spent $448. I have 12,000 people viewing my literature or content. At the end of the day, that's worth it for sure. Now, what does that mean in terms of real dollars? Nothing yet. My audience is slowly growing on YouTube. All right, 109 subscribers, so that's good, and my audience is slowly growing. I don't have the whole lot of my email campaign yet because I haven't done it. I'm just starting to do that today. So in terms of identifying email people, I haven't done that yet. But my subscriber list is growing on YouTube. I have spent money. I spent $450. That's not chump change for sure. But the question is it worth it? And at this stage, yeah. At the end of the day, if you want to drive traffic, the AdWords, an in-market audience versus infinity audience, both those work real well as opposed to just keywords. I think keywords are fine. You can even go back here to keywords. I'm not wasting a whole lot of time on keywords anymore on Google because I think the in-market audience and the affinity audience are just wonderful. So I love it. And here's the keywords, and I wasn't generating hardly any leads at all for YouTube. Now, if you run keyword ads on other things, you might, but for YouTube, it wasn't worth it for me. It's just way too much time spending on keyword research. If you are selling a book, keywords are critical on Amazon, just FYI. But for running a YouTube campaign, it's just not worth it because you got way too many other ways you can get your content in front of people. All right, folks, hope this helps. Any questions, thoughts below, put them in the comment section down below. Thanks, guys. We'll see you next time.